Peace, prosperity, and love, beautiful people. Welcome to Gracefully Imperfect, a podcast for the Black and African diaspora in material of socioeconomics, politics, religion, and so forth. The centrality of this podcast is immersive empathy, introspection, deep thought, soul-serving conversation and communication, all in the light of unlocking the keys to vulnerability and transformation. During our time together, we will engage in topics related to mental and spiritual health experiences, the intersectionality of mental health and creativity, identity and culture, and any and all things related to healing from trauma, gathering insights, cultivating a deep sense of knowing, and repairing soul wounds. In the essence of communal love and collective consciousness, let us open our minds, lighten our hearts, settle our spirit, access soul intelligence, and affirm the richness of our humanity. Peace, blessings, and revolutionary love to everybody. This is Brotha KD, and we are back with another episode of Gracefully Imperfect, where we are constantly embracing vulnerability, our imperfections, and transformation, one conversation at a time. I am super grateful and thankful to be able to still have this platform, to be able to be in the flesh, to bring forth vulnerable conversations, hitting on a bunch of different themes, a bunch of different concepts, a bunch of different ideas, all in respect for personhood development, whether that you are father, mother, auntie, uncle, friend, professional, business owner, clinician and therapist, human services professional, historian, librarian. It don't matter. It's for everybody, because what we're talking about is transformation, and transformation is something that we all endure in various points of our lifespan, very different ways, and with extremely diverse experiences. It has been quite a while since the last episode. It has been so much that has happened since the last episode. My love for Afrocentric thought. And so if you have not checked that out, please do. It's available. It is something that really resonates with the way in which I intellectually navigate issues and concerns and problems. And it's also embedded in my spiritual and personal and political identity as a Black man, father, husband, and Afrocentric social worker. And so it's more than just an ideology. It is my lifeline. It is something that has continued to be my shining light through the dark, through the confusions and miscommunications and the misinterpretations that are out there in the world through various mediums. And it has also been a mechanism that I've used in order to fine-tune my parenting, my ways and means of showing up as a husband and as a best friend to my wife, my conduct and my character, my approach to research and studying, my writing, and also the way that I view and see the world beyond my particular milieu. So Afrocentric theory has been is more than just a theory for me. It is a entire paradigm, it's a perspective, it's a lens, and it has forged a very, very healthy, meaningful, and purposeful multi-intersectional identity. And so I am grateful. So if you have not seen that, please do pass it on to your comrade, to your friend, to your loved one. I think there's a lot of good pieces in that particular episode. Here we are today, and I just want to check in. How are we doing? Mind, body, spirit, psychologically, emotionally, socially? Do we feel the weight of the world? Do we feel tensions? Are there existential dread that we are facing? Are we elated? Are we filled with jubilee? Are we stressed and anxious? Are we a lot of things, a lot of combinations? Right? So check in. And I want to hear from you. So please um, subscribe to this podcast. Send an email, Brotha, Brotha KD at liberationsocialwork.com. Again, Brotha, Brotha KD at liberationsocialwork.com. I want to hear from you. How are you holding up? How are you coping? How are you taking care of yourself? And what does support and healing look like for you? Before coming on here, I've been in contemplation mode on how I'm going to continue this podcast. I got a few ideas in mind. I do want to start making this more of a interdialogue rather than just a monologue. I do want to make this more interpersonal, and I do want to promote solidarity, cooperation, and human compassion and synergy through this platform, because transformation, imperfections, and vulnerability is shared. Point blank, period. There's not one person, there's not one group, there's not one race that can say that they at any point of their life that they haven't looked at themselves and said, I don't like that. I don't want to deal with that. I want to cover this up. I want to disguise it. There's not one person that has completely disconnected from the idea of connection, relationships. I do understand that there's a lot of factors that play into the way in which people value concepts like love and belongingness and connectedness and community. But to a very, very good extent, we are all socially and emotionally primed for unity, for togetherness to some degree. And so, because that is shared, and what is not shared is our multi-stories, is our cultural dynamics, our familial upbringing, our particular languages that we speak, the beliefs and assumptions and attitudes that we hold, the worldview system that gives us context, color, and meaning. Those are the things that I want to put at the center of this interdialogue, this cooperative conversation of bringing people into the gracefully imperfect space in order to amplify and to really magnify as well the power of the human expression and human experience. So put your seatbelts on, y'all. It's going to be a ride, and it's going to be fun. And it's going to be some bumps and bruises along the way. There's going to be some moments of aha, and I didn't think about it like that. I know, or a lot of um, elaborate pauses for reflection, for wrestling with ideas and notions that may disrupt or cause conflict with our perspective or our particular lens in which we view, see, interact, and interpret the world. Nonetheless, it's going to create the capacity for us to dig deeper into who we are, who are our people, what we are, and what has happened to us, and what do we do about it, and where are we going. So I can't wait to see how this manifests. I'm going to start I'm going to start reaching out and seeing who wants to be a part of it. I also want to highlight too that my absence from this podcast has not been in vain. I've been rolling out some services. I have been making some tweaks to the Liberation Social Work webpage. I have been connecting with folks here locally and also nationally. I've been trying to lock down various streams of economic um, economic security because Gracefully Imperfect needs it. The framework of Liberation Social Work needs it, and in order for us to continue to do this thing as freelance, as independent and interdependent with the people, with family, with community members, um, we're gonna need that. We're gonna need some cheddar. We're gonna need to bring in some money, and so for those who are open and willing and have capacity, on our webpage we also have a space for you to donate. It can be one time. It can be reoccurring. Every cent and every dollar counts for the research, for the study, for the teaching, for the speaking of liberation social work, and even for the programming. And I'll get into that. Some of the services that I have been rolling out has a lot to do with trying to break down as many barriers as I possibly can between mental health professional and the people. The services that I have been that I have rolled out also is connecting people without any middleman, any intermediary, directly to a directly to the space and opportunity for healing. The first service is therapeutic self-healing. Therapeutic self-healing is designed to really take on this prevalent issue that we see um, in various Black communities with this epidemic of silence.
keeping things to yourself, bundling up, pushing them down, the culture of compartmentalization, I'll deal with it later, the culture of suppression, not wanting to face it, confront it, address it, whether that being issues in the workplace, whether that being historical trauma, intergenerational wounds, identity crisis, mental health conditions like stress, anxiety, depression, etc. Or just the day-to-day weight that comes with just being Black in an anti-Black society. And so therapeutic self-healing is designed for opening up a space where a person can come and feel as freely to open up and express themselves, to unburden their hearts, to work through and confront and explore what it is that's causing the distress, the disconnection, the hurt, the pain, and so forth. It's to look at all of what it is that make you, you, your worldview, all of your identities, the multi-stories that comes with your identity and your cultural dynamic, your particular orientation to life, your philosophies of life, your experiences from childhood all the way to present day, and many, many other nuanced topics to support the exploration and the discovery of those seeds of truth that gets lost. It gets lost in a society where systemic racism, racial discrimination, family disintegration, cultural genocide, miseducation, and so forth prevails. So that's what therapeutic self-healing is all about. Meeting you exactly where you are, being non-judgmental, being compassionate, and then providing you the opportunity, the space, the time, the capacity, and the empowerment to transform that silence into language and eventually to action. The next service that we rolled out is the optimal mental health group work. And I like this one in particular because, again, it centers the voice, the experience, says the ideas, the concepts of Black life, culture, heritage, and perspective. And like I said, it's group. And so it's multi-generational, gender expansive. It doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status is, your religion, your political ideology, all are welcome. I also have it to where if you want to bring in a certain group that's close to you, your kin folk, your family, you and your girlfriends, you and your brothers, you and some peers, you and some colleagues, that space can be for you as well. It can be exclusive to your particular group. And you can decide on the particular topics themes, concepts that you want included into that group dynamic process. That's how flexible I am, and that's how flexible and adaptive liberation social work is. The next service, and this is the one I've been doing constantly: the speaking, the teaching, the workshops, the mental health panels. Um, this is ongoing. Collaborations with podcasters and radio and media. All of this incorporates the community outreach through speaking and engagement. And so I'll go anywhere. I will. It don't matter. It could be a library. It can be a park. It can be the living room. It can be in a conference room. It can be virtually. It don't matter for me. Now, I do. Obviously, there's going to be some travel restrictions, but it never hurts to have the conversation. And so, if you're looking for someone who understands mental health, understands cultural affirming care through the lens of a worldview system, then let's build bridges, not dams. And then the last service is consultations, technical support, and counseling. And this is for my organizational leaders, my board advisors, my educators and administrators, even those who are in private practice, therapists, clinicians, um, and anyone in the space of programming for Black mental health. I provide advice. I provide research analysis. I will provide a complete needs assessment. I can look at the system, see how it works inside and out, hold community circles so we can really get to what the problem is, what the root cause of these symptoms, and then gather from the people what it is that they want to see different, and then work on the back end with you, your staff, your other leaders on how to take the feedback and materialize it in a way that is conducive for the operation. Yeah. And I will say this. I have been contemplating on whether I should open up a service specifically for military families. I live in an area where there's 5 military bases. And what I'm learning from those who work with military people in various different capacities cross industry is that they're seeing a lot of disconnect and tension within the military family unit. And so I haven't opened up this yet. But if you're listening to this and you are a veteran, you're a retiree, you are in the service at present moment, affiliated or connected to military service or government in any kind of way, and you want someone who want to facilitate the power for self-healing, to work through your trials and tribulations, your struggles, who has the professional expertise as well as the lived experience with 14 years in the military and 2 years as a defense contractor, let me know. Let me know if that's something that your comrades, your peers, your family is interested in. And I think that that will help provide some insight on whether I can fulfill that gap. The last thing that I've been contemplating on, but I have not rolled out yet, is financial wellness counseling. I have noticed that through therapeutic self healing, economics come up. And as a certified financial social worker with a therapeutic skill set, I have been thinking about applying my ability, my expertise, and my gifts towards those that want to work towards healing those financial wounds, working through any type of financial trauma or economic distress that's causing so much chaos and concern in the way in which that you operate, you conduct yourself, you interact, you relate, you perceive, and all the above. So if you're someone that's not looking for a financial planner, because that's not what I am, I'm talking about someone to help you heal your emotional wounds and psychological distress in relationship to financial and or economic insecurities, trauma, and stress. So whether if you are a family member, a professional, a student, a business owner, a staff member, don't matter. If you see that connection between your emotionality and money, or if you merely just question if it exists anyway, send me an email, Brotha KD at liberationsocialwork.com. And that's going to be in the notes as well. So over these past, I don't know how long it's been since the last episode, I've been steady with the research, with the studying, and finding ways to build liberation social work and mental health, mental and creative liberation LLC into a very, very lucrative and intentional and accessible social and cultural transformation business. Now, right now, it's just me. But as soon as we can start to create some momentum and more people come along and they bring on people and they bring on people, and we are healing the wounds of families and their clans and their kinfolk and businesses and what have you, then you're definitely going to see this build. You're definitely going to see this build in real time. And so I'll leave you all with this. The mission for liberation social work is plain and it's concise. All right. W.E.B. Du Bois said that in the 20th century, the main problem of concern is the color line. And we saw that with the race riots, with Jim Crow and the Black Codes, civil rights movement, desegregation, integration. We saw that with mass incarceration, war on drugs, and we're still seeing it today as Black people world over are disproportionately affected by every domain of human activities, all the way from entertainment through labor, education, law, healthcare, you name it. And what does that do to us? There's some of us finding ways to adapt, whether that's because we have a strong social support system, the socialization of our childhood and adolescence and adulthood has reinforced a positive self-image, positive self-esteem. We have developed mentors along the way. We have been privileged to be in spaces and have opportunities that other brothers and sisters couldn't fathom of having. But a lot of us still are out here struggling. And we have children that are struggling. And they're having children that are struggling. And our brothers and sisters, aunties and uncles are also struggling in silence. And so the mission is to transform silence, suppression, compliance, and complicity to unmitigated, self-defined language and action. That's the mission. That's the purpose. That's the vision. And that's the goal. Let's do it together. Let's create a system of healing and liberation and education and peer support. And let's pour in to what we need in order to be our best selves and for the generation thereafter to take on this baton of advancement, of survival, of resistance with self-determined power. It's been lovely. It's been great. I'm excited, and I can't wait to see how this continuously manifests itself in positivity, in continuous learning, continuous development and refinement, and the exploration of personal to collective power. This is Brother KD. I am because we are, and because we are, therefore I am. Aluta continua.